Yes, let's resume the meeting. In the interest of time, I think we need to extend the meeting by 15 minutes to deal with the amendment moved by Dr. Helena Wong. Any objection? No? We're now waiting for Dr. Wong to draft the amendment. Administration on Dr. Wong's amendment in relation to water pumps. Do you have any views? Well, you have to read through it first before you can respond, right? Yes, okay. Let's wait a little while more. Mr. Pt2, on a wall-mounted kettle, the amendment, I just stepped out. I'm not saying that I'm against it, but then the trade is not aware of it, so I would abstain from voting. The WSD has said that it has been in touch with them all, so he's just expressing his stance. I'd like to say to members, the end of the scrutiny period is the 12th of July 2017, and that is the end of the scrutiny period. We have to make a report to the House Committee on the 30th of June. And if we want to move amendment, that should be 5 clear days before. So that should be done by the 5th of July. Dr. Wong has suggested that the subcommittee will move an amendment, and that has to be submitted by the 5th of July. If we have to make some textual amendments to the motions or the amendment passed, then these have to be submitted to the members' consideration as early as possible before we take them to the council meeting. Now, we passed the first motion, and for the next one, I don't know whether we're going to pass it. And if we pass both, then the finalized amendments must be passed to the members for our consideration ASAP. And if there is no objection, then that can be submitted to the council meeting. And the deadline for doing that is the 5th of July. Legal advisor, yes, understand. The legal advisor will liaise with you later on. Chairman, on the amendment just now, which is to be moved by the subcommittee as a whole, I would fine-tune the wordings. And if there is any further question, I will talk to the chairman again, because I may have further questions if I change the drafting. And then after that, I will circulate the wordings to the members for your approval. And I would also be talking about the rules of procedures and other legal amendments, etc. Chairman, you would be making a report on behalf of the subcommittee to the House Committee on Friday. Thank you, Chairman. Yes, you have finished the drafting here, and it has been distributed to members. Yes, let me read it out. In our discussion just now, we found that water pumps are missing from the amendment regulation, and water pumps may be a source of contamination for water. So I suggest that in Part 7 we add in a part on water pumps. And the wording is like this. If the water authority believes that the metallic, non-metallic, or materials used for water pumps and inside services may adversely affect the water quality, the water pumps should not be used. And we are empowering the water authority to issue clear guidelines in the future to set out clearer standards on the use of metallic and non-metallic materials. Okay, administration, do you have any response? This is a suggestion on water pumps. The present amendment regulation doesn't cover materials used for water pumps. If even there's an absence of the relevant regulation, the water authority will actually monitor the situation from the perspectives of the efficiency of water supply and the water quality. There may be a lot of suppliers for water pumps, Japan, Europe and the mainland, and in the course of approval of the water pumps, the water authority will have regard to supply efficiency and water quality. We have to be mindful of how such a provision can be implemented in the future. So we have to be very cautious about this suggestion. So is it the case that under the present regulation, the water authority is already empowered to ban the use of certain materials, right? So there should not be any conflict, right? In the part 1, pipes and fittings should cover all components and parts, and water pumps should be a component, right? So I'm just writing out categorically what's on your mind already. So you are in fact enforcing the relevant regulation, and approval has to be granted for the use of water pumps, right? So for the footnote that we mentioned, it should also cover part 7 as well. Any comments? Mr. Pt2. I would like to repeat here, I would abstain from voting because I haven't consulted the trade. Dr. Helena, any supplement? I hope that the administration will support my amendment because I'm not changing anything in substance, really. The administration has given it a stance already. So let's deal with this amendment on Part 7, moved by Dr. Wong. She's asking that the amendment be moved by the subcommittee as a whole. So, do you agree to that? No objection? All right, okay. Mr. Pt2 will abstain. I believe the majority are in support of the subcommittee moving the amendment. So we are finished with our work today. Anything further from the government? I'd like to thank the subcommittee for spending so much time on this rather non-complicated piece of subsidiary legislation. I thank you. Well, it's our duty as legislators. I'd like to thank the administration for your great assistance, and thank you, members. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.